Hello everyone, I'm excited to share that over the past 3 weeks I've been working towards my septic installer and septic inspector license. So I got some big things coming right around November, so stay tuned. I wanted to share some of the highlights from the training. This is a new build right around Greensboro. You can see them putting in the Quick 4 Plus chamber system. This is more of a modern option because gravel has become a lot more expensive. You can see the operators down there with the stick, and the stick is beeping. It's letting him know that he's on contour at the right depth. So he works together with the excavator. Here we got a picture of a tank, and here's a supplier who does that offers plastic tanks. There's advantages and disadvantages to either. The more standard is this right here. This is the concrete tank, about 1,000 gallons. And this is a truck, a specialized truck that transports and also lifts and drops them. And this is a different new build. We have an excavator. He's digging a hole about 5 feet from the house, and he's going to be putting that tank in place. It's a pretty tough job because he can't see exactly what he's digging. He's relying a lot on this operator in the blue shirt. So as he digs, getting close, he drops a stick down there. It beeps if it's the right depth, and then they have to make sure it's the right size, orientation, and depth. Also, it's got to be level. So here they got to carefully back up. He's going to get his tires as close as he can to that edge, and they're going to work together to direct that tank in there. You can see there's a seam down the middle. There's some mastic that seals it. It's actually cast in two different pieces. There's an inlet hole and an outlet hole. The outlet hole is about 2 inches lower. It's because it's a gravity-fed system. So as solids come in, they get stopped by this baffle wall, and then only the center where the water that hopefully doesn't have any solids goes into the next chamber, and then that gets through gravity, goes through the outlet, and then down out through a PVC pipe to the drain field. These tanks are extremely heavy, and it's kind of interesting to note that they're only held by 2 chains, and those chains are held by 2 notches that are precast into the tank. This takes an exceptional amount of skill and experience, and these guys have been doing this for quite a while. You can see in the bottom right, that yellow thing, that's the laser that keeps it all level, and they use that for just about everything. Inches really matter in this game. You have to have the right slope to make sure that the liquids are going where they're supposed to go. So you see 2 hatches at the top with those 2 handles. Those hatches are beveled so they don't fall in, but that's where your pump truck would come and clean out every 3 to 5 years. And also it's a way for an inspector to look, make sure that everything's working properly and that the system's operating and functioning properly. All right, here we're out in the field working on contours. We're looking at the panels for a pump tank. Here is a different system. Instead of the Quick 4 Plus chambers, you have rock and pipe. This is what you'll typically find in the older homes. It works just as well. It's just, like I mentioned before, it's a lot more labor and material intensive. We ended up going to an older house. It took a while for us to find the tank. It's been buried for quite a while. They're complaining that the is backing up. You can see the soil is also deeper than the allowable 6 inches. So this is because it's an older home. They didn't have all the same requirements and laws and systems that we have today. There's actually no baffle wall in this one. Might be one of the reasons why the drain field wasn't working properly, but also you can see that the gravel right there is actually the driveway. So this is not a tank that is meant to be parked on top of, and with a vehicle traveling over top of where the drain field is, it might be compressed in the soil, not allowing that soil to breathe or absorb the water that it needs to function properly. So you can see there he has this tube in his hand with it's kind of like a graduated cylinder. It's measured every foot. What they're doing right here is they're pushing through the solids in that tube, and they pull that ball, and it pulls a plunger up and blocks off that liquid, and they're going to lift it up, and we're looking for solids. If it's more than 33%, that tank really needs to be pumped. It also can tell you, the suspension of any of the type of solids, and gives you kind of a indication of the health of the system. Is the bacteria working,
white or something
and
like
is it
that that's
draining
hung in it.
properly?
So we only have about 2.5 feet of liquid level in this thing.
And then the pump truck came, and we had to pump it out. Coming this December, Homes Built Bright is going to be offering septic installations, repairs, and inspections. So please let me know if this is something that is of interest to you, and pass the word. Thanks.